How did you get started on your wrestling career, Goldberg? How did that start for you?
It's a really long story. I guess initially, my brother was Ric Flair's. One of my brothers was Ric Flair's housemate in college. So I guess that's the first tie to it. Kevin Green was one of my roommates at the Rams. He gave a glorious Hulk Hogan impression.
I bet.
And always said that I should be a professional wrestler. When I was at the University of Georgia, quite obviously, we spent a lot of time in Atlanta during those days, and I'd rub shoulders with a lot of the current wrestlers, and there were a number of good guys, and I never really desired to be one, nor did I assume that I would ever be one, but fate have it. I unfortunately didn't succeed at my first love, which was being a 10-year veteran in the NFL, though I did play a couple of days, seemingly. But, I kind of fell into wrestling. I had worked on my physique, my physical stature for so long in prepping and playing in the NFL that it was, I won't say that I'm a man of theater, but I thought it was a fairly natural progression. At least I thought so at the time, and my accountant did also. So, you're posed with ultimatums, crushed dreams. It's all part of growing up, and it was an option that I chose. I was lucky. I trained quite hard. I kind of applied the work ethic that I had in the NFL in playing football throughout my life to wrestling, and with an open mind, and mixed martial arts making a huge presence be known in entertainment at the time. I kind of had an idea, and I followed a dream. That dream was to succeed and try to be somebody that kids could look up to, and set a good example for them, and make a decent living. So I was a combination of being on the right time at the right place with the right work ethic and a lot of luck.
Goldberg here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm one of the few in this business who can ask this question the way I'm going to ask it, Goldberg, is football and wrestling. My Jewish mother would never have allowed that in a million years.
My dad, hey, bro,
Ever.
Listen.
Ever.
I called my dad, and he hung up on me the first time I told him.
I mean, how'd you pull off this trick? A nice Jewish boy from Oklahoma getting into football and wrestling. How did that happen?
Yeah, my dad, the OBGYN, and my mom, the concert violinist in the Chicago Philharmonic. I was far from the prototypical person to segue into the business, but like I said, I had some good friends that were in the business. I had a good in, and Jim Ross had a lot to do with my first meeting in the wrestling business. And Jim covered me in high school football, for God's sakes. And it's just all about being in the right place at the right time, and trying to be forward thinking and apply what I had learned and what I had centered my life on for my entire life, which was football, and try to apply it to something else, because truthfully, that was the only thing I was pretty good at.
Well, I mean, I remember taking my mother, Eveline, a school teacher. You had your mom, Ethel, was a classic violinist. My mom, Eveline, was a kindergarten and second grade and first grade teacher. I remember taking her to her first ever football game at the Big House at Michigan when I went there. I was a student. Sitting in the stands, and there's a roughing the kicker penalty. And she asked what the flag was for. I told her it was roughing the kicker, and she goes, "The kicker's not allowed to be touched." And I'm like, "No." She goes, "Oh, I would have allowed you to kick." That's what she said to me, Goldberg. That's what she said.
Sounds like Happy Gilmore. Not Happy Gilmore. One of Sadler's great movies.
Yeah, it sounds like Waterboy. Sounds like Waterboy. Yeah.
Waterboy, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.